What's up, West Coast Swing fans? In this random video, we're gonna give you 3 styling tips. I'm gonna talk about some footwork stuff that I do as the leader.
I'm gonna do some spin stuff for the follower. And I'm gonna do some arm stuff.
We'll see you on the other side. All right, I know it's supposed to be ladies first, but I'm going to lead off because things have changed. All right, so we're gonna talk about leaders and followers. This would be good for you as well, but how to do things like this with your feet. But we have to understand a couple of things first. So the first 2 things I have to understand are tracking. What is tracking? If I'm walking forward, right, I'm pulling my foot underneath my body. If you watch that straight too, I'm pulling my foot underneath my body before it goes where I'm going. If I want to walk to a diagonal, I don't just walk to a diagonal, I have to track underneath my body and turn and walk to a diagonal. And I want to track this foot not to go that way, but I need to track underneath my body before I turn and go to my new diagonal. That would work going backwards as well. If I want to work diagonally to the room this way, I don't just dance that way and dance that way. I want to track my foot and turn to step backwards. If I want to go to this direction, I don't just step there. I want to track my foot and turn. So that's number 1, tracking. Number 2 is rolling through my feet. And for the sake of this, we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but I'm going to roll from the toe to the ball to the heel of my foot, from the toe to the ball to the heel. Or forward, I could walk heel, ball, toe. Heel, ball, toe. I usually say toe, ball, heel. I rarely talk about that going forwards. So, but for the sake of this, I want to, as I roll back, I want to roll off of my heel. So I want to imagine that my feet are rounded. So as I'm rolling back, I'm pushing off my heel, right? I don't always want to do that, but sometimes I might. So the 2 things we have are tracking, foot coming underneath, and then rolling through my feet. If you watch it sideways, I want to roll through, tracking, being conscious about bringing that foot underneath my body, not leaving any space between my legs. I have slight bow legs, but you hopefully will never see that when I dance because I'm tracking my feet. Now let's get to a drill that's going to get us to this funky stuff. It's called cover and pull. So in cover and pull, I'm doing a triple step. Triple step and triple step. But what I'm going to do is triple, I cover that foot, and as I step to the side, I push off that heel. If I do it again, triple, and as I step to my left side, I'm going to push off my right heel. Now here's how you can tell if you're doing this correctly or incorrectly. This is the cover part, triple. I'm going to cover my right toe with my left heel. So if I step that down too early, hurts my toe, right? Triple. So I have to keep the weight forward on this foot to be able to push off, right? Triple. I have to keep my weight forward on the ball of this foot to be able to push off. How would I apply that to my dancing? If I did something like a right side pass, I'll do this from the back. 1, 2, 3, and. Remember the tracking? I don't just want to step 4. I want to rotate and step to count 4. So if I did 1, 2, 3, and 4 of a right side pass, 1, 2, 3, and I have a lot of rotation to do before I step 4. Now, that might have been my slot, so I want to get back. I want to do the cover and pull drill, 5 and to step back in the slot for 6. Then when I walk my 1, I'm not going to just walk my 1. I'm going to track that foot underneath me. But now what if I did this? What if I did 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 and 6, and 1 and 2 into my next pattern? So let's talk about that. So as I'm finishing an anchor step, right, I'm rolling from the toe to the ball to the heel of that foot before I take my next step. A little bit like that cover and pull drill. Triple step. As I'm rolling my weight to the back of my foot, I'm picking this up so you can see, I'm going to rotate basically on the heel of that foot to be able to push off to the new direction. Now the same thing is going to happen with this left foot. I'm keeping the heel up so you can see. This will happen real fast when you're dancing. I'm going to roll into that foot as I'm tracking. When I get to the heel, I pivot to a new direction and I can push. So then my 1, 2 to real time coming out of the anchor step would look like this. Triple step, anchor step, and 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Let's slow it down. And 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. That's my styling tip. What do you have, Miss Emily?
All right, Brian B had some great footwork tips, but now what the heck do you do with your arms? We have 3 different main things that we kind of talk about. So we talk about the arms on a table plane, so it's like you're moving over a flat surface. Then we have the wall that goes in front of the body. Then we have the wheel that goes against the body. So if anything is, it's like you're against a wall. So if anything, it's your body and your arm moving together. The wheel goes against your body. So if it's the table, your arm is going across at a flat kind of line. If it's the wall, your body and your arm are moving together. If it's a wheel, you're moving against your body movement. So it's a little bit, it can go up and around. It can be either arm, or it can only go halfway if you want it to, or the other half as well. So you can do that a couple times just to get comfortable with it. But what kind of patterns can we use this with? For this part, I need Brian B. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the table. This is gonna come from a sweep. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We bring the arms around. So whether the music makes you want to do that or you just want to point at your partner, leaders and followers can do that move. We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. If you need more sweep stuff, we've got videos for that too. Now we're going to change hands and do more of a wall plane with a sugar push. So it's a little bit of a stylized sugar push anyway with some angle to it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. But that's moving with the line of your body on that diagonal. And leaders, you can do that cool little anchor or 3 and 4 that Brian B did. Do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Now, the wheel is a little bit more, it's a little bit trickier to add, but we do have this extended hip catch that we did in another video coming out soon that you can use the wheel plane. From here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and we have our anchor step, counting in straight 8s. We'll try that again. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. I'm used to counting in choreography. So either way, whatever you do with your arm, make sure that you've got energy in it. A lot of the time, our arms stay to the side, and we kind of look like we have dead fish a little bit. Make sure that there's energy through the fingertips, whatever you do, whether it's the table, the wall, or the wheel.
All right, followers. So you may have seen people turning with their head back or with their head down. So I'm going to talk about that for you all. As you are spinning, so 1, 2, it is just simply taking your head back or your head down without moving any part of your body with it. All right? So if you don't have a flexible neck, sorry, but that might be a limiting factor for you. If you get dizzy one way or the other, that also might be a limiting factor, and you might be able to work towards it, but maybe don't try it all the time. So we have 1, 2. As I spin, I'm going to send my head back for 3 and 4, 5 and 6. All right, so if we did that one more time, we have 1, 2, and maybe just practice standing there over your post, as we call it, and just taking your head back and making sure that your shoulders don't go with it. Because if your shoulders go with it, you get really topsy-turvy, and you might actually end up on the ground if your head's back. So just the head. We're going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Then this happens in ducks a lot, and really this would be a good thing to practice for ducks going forward, but you can also do it if you are led in multiple spins in a duck position. So you have 1, 2, again right here, I would just practice your head dipping down without your shoulders really going forward much, all right? So you're on that foot, just the head down, and then you're going to try to spin. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And you can use that little styling technique from Brian to get your balance again. So one last time on this side, we have 1, 2, just the head for 3, and 4, 5, and 6. I will show you with a partner. All right, so we're just going to start with an inside turn. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So like what we practiced, we're just starting with our head back, not our shoulders. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. You can do this on any type of inside turn or outside turn.
You might even do it from a free spin if I let you go.
Or maybe even from a free spin. Who knows? But then we have our duck, and I would suggest starting with a single. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. If your head is not low enough, bend your knees a little. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
And just because I suspect that if you're doing this, you have a leader that's doing that. Leaders, when I turn her for this duck, 1, 2, 3, and. First of all, she's got good spin technique. She gives me this moment.
We have other videos on this.
I take my elbow up, right? When I'm leading this, the easier version is I go towards her elbow, which leaves more room. You notice she doesn't hardly have to duck. And then Megan and I realized that for years we've been doing the harder version because Megan's pretty good at this. So I go right into the armpit, but elbow up.
But you can do multiple. 1, 2, 3. I'm not counting correct, but that's okay. Triple step.
All right, if you want to know everything there is to know about styling, just about, we have something called the Ultimate Guide to Styling. We have one for leaders, we have one for followers. You can access them right here. It's a step-by-step guide, everything to do with your feet, body, arms. We integrate it into a bunch of different patterns. We give you a bunch of patterns that have innate styling in it. Everything we've learned about styling systematically, step by step, for leaders and followers, you can get it right here.